Good evening and welcome again to the fifth Youngsters on the Air online session. I am Lisa, Papa Alpha to Lima Sierra, and the youth working group of the International Amateur Radio Union Region 1 made again a very nice session tonight of a new topic. And actually, this is going about the topic which is finally going to happen this year, also during the COVID period. It's all going about December YOTA month. So stay tuned and listen to what the youngsters have to tell to you tonight. Also, if you have questions, then you can follow us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Use at Hamyota and ask us those questions. Later in this session, we will also answer your questions. So feel free to ask anything you want. If you want to learn more about Youngsters on the Air, IARU or December YOTA month. For tonight, our host is Ottava, and I will give now the word to him.
Thank you, Lisa. My name is Ottava Oscar Hotel 3 Oscar Tango, and I'm from Finland. At first thing today, we will be going through the agenda and we'll be showing that what we'll be talking about this evening. First, as usual for the new viewers, we will have introduction to why YOTA Online. Then we will talk a little bit about event circumstances. How is this event happening? Where is this event happening? And who are we? Who are the people behind this event? Then, as usual, we will have the YOTA riddle. Make sure you have paper that you can write the questions down and try to find the right answers to the questions during our presentation. Our main topic of today will be December YOTA month, which is going to be in December. We will have a general info about December YOTA month, then a little example from Finland, what the December YOTA month can be like. Also impressions from participants and event organizers from past YOTA Online, December YOTA month. And then YOTA Riddle prize draw, as usual. Claudia will be showing the prizes for the ones that have answered the riddle correctly. And following upcoming events, a little bit about those. Next YOTA Online session topic, which will be actually very fun. Wait for it to end so you will see. And then the session closing as usual. But first, why YOTA Online? For YOTA Online, we have two main factors. One of them is, of course, that due to COVID-19 pandemic, all planned YOTA events for this year had to be cancelled or postponed until further notice. Only event we had this year was YCP Youth Contesting Program that was held in Luxembourg in start of March, and soon after that we had to cancel or postpone all the other events. But still, we have to have something, as a lot of youngsters want to join YOTA activities each year. And that's why youth working group within YOTA decided to create an interactive format to gather youngsters on a regular basis. And with this, in our case, this means monthly. Then event circumstances. The main thing about YOTA Online, and I have to say a really great thing, is that it's open for anybody, no matter where in the world you are, as long as you have internet connection. And of course, it's free and free online streaming platforms. During the events, in general, we'll be talking about specific topics, including Q&A sessions, answering questions, different YOTA topics. This time it will be December YOTA month, last time it was summer camps, etc. And of course, the prize draw. And stay tuned for the special prizes for loyal viewers after several YOTA Online events. More on that on the later sessions and our social medias. The event today, as usual, will last from 1 to 1.5 hours, and it will be it will be happening on last Thursday of the month, as usual. Then, who are we? We are a multinational working group within IARU Region 1 Youth Working Group. We have people from 6 countries, which is especially nice when we're thinking that YOTA is a multinational organization, if you can call it. We have 3 people from Germany, Claudia, Philip, and Marcus. Monty from Austria. I, Ottava, from Finland. Martina from Czech Republic, Peter from Belgium, and Lisa from the Netherlands. And then we also have quests today, as we usually do. This time our quests, of course, as our main topic of today is December YOTA month. We have our own December YOTA month coordinator, Tommy Varro, Hotel Alpha 8, Radio Tango. And as a special, we didn't tell you before, but we have Jentel Hollebeck from our IT team telling about IT stuff today. We're really looking forward to those presentations today. But next, I will hand the mic to Claudia, who will tell you about YOTA RIDDLE of this session.
Yeah, so also hello from my side. And also, as we did the last times, we prepared some nice riddles for you. And again, we have one riddle. It's riddle 1 for answering during the session. And then we have a second one, which you can answer after the session. So let's start with riddle 1. So, whoops, we just want to have riddle 1 first. So this is during the session, so you have time until the end of the presentations to fill out the Google form. You can find the link to the Google form in the chat, as well as you can also just scan the QR code we provided here. So first of all, there was last year during December YOTA month, there was a sub-regional camp, and we want you to listen to the call sign which was used during the sub-regional camp during the DYM last year. And then within this call sign, there's a number, and you're going to exchange this number by the number of the month when the youth coordinators have to register their call signs. So normally the youth coordinators have to register the YOTA call signs for the member societies, and we want to listen that for the month. So exchange the number from the call sign by the number of the month. And then you will get to our solution call sign, which will be this the right answer for riddle 1. And also I will show you riddle 2 already, but we can also revise it later. And of course, you have more time until Sunday evening for riddle 2. So we want to know how many countries took part in the first DYM. And then we want to know what was the mode, which was where most of the QSOs were made last year. And then you have, if you know how many countries took part in the first DYM, then you will get a megahertz area. And we want to know in this megahertz area, there's a QRP center of activity for the mode, which is the also the mode which most of the QSO were made last year. And we want to know this QRG of this QRP center of activity. So this means we want to know the frequency of this center of activity where we're looking for. Yeah, and this is going to be riddle 2. And of course, we also have some nice prizes. So we will today, again, hand out a t-shirt and a hoodie. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully see the answers, and also make sure that if you have any questions regarding the December YOTA month, you can use the chat. The chat's provided also by YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, depending on which platform you're watching our stream. So if you have any questions, just ask them in the question in the chat form, and we can take care of that. And yeah, let's now hand over to, I think it's Tommy, who's going to tell us now a little bit more about the actual DYM.
Hello, I'm Tommy, AJ8 artist, and just a second, I'm going to share my screen. If everything works all right. Nope, nope. Okay, I shouldn't be showing this. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so I'm the manager of December YOTA month, and I would like to say some words about this. The December YOTA month's main idea is to have youngsters back on the air, and also new youngsters on the air, to encourage them, to make a chance for them to give demonstration in the school, to provide them an occasion to team up, even if they are restricted by COVID. They can make teams online, they can make remote operations, or if the country is more free, they can make a small meeting during the December. And of course, this is to show them the joy of amateur radio to everyone, to youngsters, and to show that there are youngsters on the air. The first December YOTA month was held in 2013, and there were only 19 stations from 14 different countries. And I can say that I joined in 2014, so I don't have much memories about 2013, but there were already more stations in 2014, and this gradually increased to almost 50 stations last year from 5 different continents. And all three IARU regions. I would like to say some words about the rules. Of course, the youngsters, it means operators under the age of 26. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, so operators under age of 26. Normally there can be only 2 YOTA call signs per member society, but there can be made exceptions if the country is too large, or if there are some restrictions based on the call sign areas. But this means you have to contact us for making these exceptions. Yeah, and it also means that we have to use the YOTA suffix in the call signs. Normally, generally. Other rules is that the IARU member societies and the youth coordinators have to register the calls by November, because the activity starts on 1st of December at 00 UTC, and it means that in 1 a.m. in Central Europe, just for the viewers in our time zone. And this activity is held throughout the whole December. So the last day of the December YOTA month is December 31st, 0, and 23:59 Zulu. Of course, you have to upload your logs regularly to our December YOTA month site. And this is important because we handle the QSL cards, the awards for people who are making the contacts with the YOTA stations. And if you are not having so huge pilots, or even if you are having a huge pilots and a lot of people are listening to you, you should spread some words about about YOTA, that there is youth in Hamradio, and that they should care about the youth in Hamradio, and etc. So this is just the basic rules, and we are of course sending out a bulletin in I think by October, so you can prepare. You have 2 months to prepare to register the call signs. There are countries where it takes longer, where it takes shorter, so we never know how much time you need. Some words about the awards. We have 4 levels of awards. These are every year designed by Silvio, IZ5 DIY, and I am showing you right now last year's awards. We have a special scoring system where 1 station means 3 points, and every every QSO means 1 point. So you can also collect points by making QSOs with the same stations on other bands or in other modes, of course. And you have to reach the respective scores for each award. Some statistics about the last year's December YOTA month. We have made almost 130,000 QSOs with these 49 participating stations. The most used mode was SSB with 54,000 QSOs, and the second most used mode was CW with 44,000 QSOs. And a total 2,600 people downloaded about Award, so it was a rather huge success after every year. So just to mention some use cases for you, where you can use the YOTA call signs, for what you can use the YOTA call signs. Of course, if you have the possibility, you can make a winter camp in December, like Papa Alpha 6 YOTA last year. It was a sub-regional camp with youngsters from many countries in Europe. You can make a Christmas camp, like OH2 YOTA last year. I know that generally the last week in school is the easier week. You can show other activities to youngsters. You can team up in school with your friends to make some activities with the local club, or you can also organize some meetings at the home stations of youngsters or parents of youngsters. And of course, the club stations and the sub-regional activities I have mentioned earlier. So if you have any questions regarding the December YOTA month, please feel free to comment on live streams on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, where you can find us with @AmYOTA hashtag. And if Claudia has some questions for me, I can answer it right now.
Yeah, we just we'll see if we get more questions, and in the end we're going to go through the questions we get. And but as Tommy said, if you have any questions, just write them in the chat, and we now can continue with the presentation from Jentel.
Hello everyone, my name is Jentel, Oscar November 3 Yankee Hotel, and I'm one of the guys who started working on the December YOTA month website. I made a small presentation, but I was stupid enough to forget it on my computer at work. So I'm going to improvise a little bit. The website started in, I think, about 2015, the year of YOTA Italy, the summer camp. That was about the third year YOTA December month was held. And the two first editions, Lisa and Tommy, Oscar November 2 Tango Delta, were organizing it manually. And manually included manually generating awards, manually verifying contacts of people who wanted to receive an award. So for example, if 20 people wanted an award, they needed to check 20 logs, if all QSOs were correct, if they all existed, if nobody was lying. But that wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was actually getting all the logs from all the stations, because about, I don't know the amount of participants, but for example, if 20 participating stations had to hand in their logs, about 50% would actually mail them. Some others would need to get mails and mails and mails to send them in. Some would never send them in, or some would just take a picture of their paper logbook and send it to us via mail, saying, hey, here's my log, have fun with it, bye. And since the world is getting more and more digitally, we're having issues to upload logs like that, Excel sheets, Word documents, pictures, to websites like for QSL and stuff like that, and OQRS and stuff. So we started thinking, isn't there a way we can do to automate everything? And that's when Robin and I, from the Belgian YOTA team, started working on a website to automate everything. That's when the first version of the YOTA website was born In the meanwhile, we're already on the second version. As you can see over here, my screen goes through. Peter? Green? No? Okay. So with this website, we have the possibility to gather all logs from all participants. Participants can actually register, they can be approved, they can log in, they can edit their station information. For example, this station uploaded a pretty picture of them. You can see their last QSOs, you can view all their QSOs. You can dig through the logbook of any station you want to. You can find some QSO information, some statistics, as Tommy already mentioned. It's actually a lot easier to manage because every year we're getting bigger, we're drawing much more attention, and managing everything by hand isn't an option anymore, which is why we started working on this website. And it took about 5 years from 2015 until now to get to where we are right now. There are still a lot of features that we're working on. For example, and I can show this thing here. I don't see my screen, by the way, Peter, on YouTube. You have it, but you're not showing it. No, I don't think so. Everything on? Yeah, okay, there we go. So one of the main questions we're getting is from SWL stations saying they want to request an award, but since they don't have any logs or they are not appearing in any logs, it's really hard for them to actually receive an award. And it's still a lot of manually checking that needs to be done. So that's, I think, one of the last manual checks we are still doing up until today, which is why now we are working on SWL award generator, where they can register themselves as an SWL, they can log in to the website, and they can have their own logbook. For example, if they're listening, they don't need to manually log something on paper if they want to. You can just select the station. Hey, I heard Oscar number 4 YOTA on the frequency 14-250 on the 20 meter bands in SSB, for example. He had a contact with Peter for one GPS on December 16th, 9:30, for example. Name was Peter, and he lives in St. Nicholas. I think now everybody knows where Peter lives. And they can add their QSO. And by doing that, and by uploading their logbook or entering their logs on here, you can actually see the status of the QSO. For example, 2 question marks means it's unconfirmed. 1 question mark means it has been confirmed by another SWL who also heard that QSO. And 2 checks means it has been confirmed by both another SWL and the station logbook themselves. For example, 2 days later, the station uploads their logbook and you get a full verification on that QSO. And by doing that, you get some points. Just like the system works for normal hams, you also receive the same points. And you can use those to get an award with your call sign on them or your SWL name on them. So we hope to finish this before December this year, so we can actually help a lot of SWLs to receive their award. And we hope that's the biggest important change that's coming in this December month. If anyone has other feature requests, just let us know. If you have some experience in programming, most example PHP with the Laravel framework, reach out to us. You can always help a hand if you're interested, or if you want to help the community. We would more than appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening, and thanks for listening. I think I'm going to Ottawa right now, who's the next in line with some information about Oscar Hotel 2 YOTA.
Thank you, Jentel. Next, as I said before, we're going to have an example of what a December YOTA month activity can be like. I'm having the example from Finland, and it is Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu December YOTA month camps. So during this presentation, we'll go through what is the idea behind Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu camps, who is the team organizing it, what has happened on the camps, what kind of activities have we had, just a little bit about the station, etc. First, we're going to through the idea behind Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu camps. At first, December YOTA month is indeed meant for youngsters to be active on the bands. And what we have noted in Finland is that lots of youngsters are interested in operating, but the problem that we see is that youngsters cannot afford a high-end HF stations. Luckily, with help of Nico, Oscar Hotel 5 Charlie Zulu, who is also a member of Mustila Radio Club Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu, they welcomed us youngsters to the stations for a weekend to have QSOs from a really good HF station. Next, I will tell just a little bit about the station. I'm not expert with this, but I will have a email later on the presentation where you can comment or send a question if you have anything to question or want to know more about the station. But what I can say is that OS5 Zulu is one of the biggest multi-contest stations in Finland. There are 3 towers plus in-band tower for receiving, plus other antennas, including, for example, vertical for 160 meters. Maximum operating spots for 6 to 8 people, meaning 4 simultaneous transceivers and other people blocking stations. SAC is based, of course, on Electraft K3s and then some Kenwood and also some other radios at sometimes as well. But those are the main radios used at Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu. There are automatic controls for antenna, which make it especially great for contest operation. I've been at the station operating IARU SSP contest in 2018, and it was quite an experience, I have to say. I have few pictures from the stations, and you will be hearing having pictures from the SAC at least in the later presentation as well. On the left, you can see the main towers of the station with the vertical tower in the background that you can see a little bit here. And on the right, there is the run position 1 with the blocking station on the left. Not the newest technology is used, but it still works really great. Well, about the organizers, in Finland, we have this thing called youth team, which what it really is a motivated group of youngsters that are willing to do the best for other youngsters. What we do is we organize events and other activities and try to connect the youngsters the best we can. The youth team has varied through the 3 years that we had December YOTA camps in Finland now. If you are interested in seeing more information about youth team, you can read more on YOTA website from the train to trainer part and try to find Team Finland from there. And also you can see what we are up to from our unfortunately Finnish Instagram YOTA Finland. Also, of course, we need help from older hams in logistics, activities, etc. When we're next time able to go on physic YOTA events, you can maybe spot Finnish youth team members in those hoodies that you can see on the picture on the right. They're really bright color and easy to recognize. I might have mentioned that the first Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu December camp was in 2017. And after that, the organizers back then thought that this is a great concept. Youngsters learn new things, enjoy the company operating and activities. I have to highlight the company because I know that for many people, the camps are a lot about the hobby itself and its activities, but also a lot about the friendships that you form on the camps, the great company you have there, and some would say it's the best time of the year. Over the year, participants, QSO amounts, and types of activities have changed and partly remained the same. But however, the goal still has always been connecting the youth, operating as Oscar Hotel 2 Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha, and learning new things about their hobby. I have a little statistics to show you about the camps. Here you can see the date from each camps, participants, and QSOs. You have to know that the camps are not that big. We have polar camps in Finland in usually autumn, which are quite bigger camps, but as the accommodation building at Oscar Hotel 5 Sulu is that small, we have to limit the participant numbers, and they have been varying from 10 to 15 over the years. The maximum being 2018, when it was first time 3-night camp from 6th to 9th of December, with 15 participants and over 5,000 QSOs over the weekend. You can also see the group pictures. Unfortunately, they're really small if you're looking through mobile phone, but hopefully you can see at least something from them. Next, I will be going through all the camps individually, just a little detail to feelings from the camps, first from a participant's view and later from the organizer's view. Some activities from all the camps, and of course a slide full of full of pictures for all the camps, so you get a feeling of what the camp can be like. First year in 2017, I was not part of youth team, so I can see this as a participant, even though I knew something about this camp already. But the main thing that when I got to the station, I knew that it's 10 people. That's not too much. It can be a really close group of people, and in this case, youngsters, which means strengthening relationship, forming new relationship, friendships. This was quite an experience to see that there are other youngsters. This was really our first touch for me for camps within Hamradio. Also, lots of operating. It was really a new experience to operate from a big station for the first time, and widening the knowledge, above knowledge on Hamradio with different kind of antennas and how to operate more efficiently and other. The activities on 2017 camp were operating, of course, but this time Oscar Fox with Oscar Foxtrot prefix, as Finland's independence was for 100 years in 2017, so all the Finnish stations could have used Oscar Foxtrot prefix instead of the typical Oscar Hotel prefix. And that was nice because as it's even more special call sign. YOTA call signs are always special call signs, but when it's Oscar Foxtrot, it's really a one-time chance or 1 month chance in this. Also, antenna orienteering, and no, I have not mistaken this for ARDF or fox hunting. I mean that we were literally given maps where they were pointed out where are the antennas of the station, and then there we were in Finnish wintry forest trying to find the right antennas, especially in-band tower was really actually quite hard to find. But it was really nice, and also we got to have a look at what kind of antenna setup there actually is on the towers. Also, we got a visit to Oscar Hotel 5 Charlie Radio Club, which is a really fun combination of ham radio and music hobby, really in the same room. Of course, not the same time, but it was a really unique shack. I think if you Google Oscar Hotel 5 Charlie, you will see some of the pictures from the station. And again, these are from the first camp. On the right, you can see the biggest tower at Mustila, if I'm correct, it's 55 meters, a lot of stacks in there, and some dipole on the top as well. Then Antti operating from in the SAC, of the OS5 Zulu Hamsack that you can see here on the picture. Actually, a fun thing about this radio sack is that it was a hen house before, so chicken were living there, but now it has been made into a radio sack and has been for some time already. And there is actually a bigger group picture from the first year that you can, it's a little foggy picture, but you can get the point of what kind of people there were and maybe even recognize some of them. Well, the second year, what was most memorable was that it was 3 nights, and actually some of the organizers were there for 4 nights. It was really full of activities. It was really fun. When you were not operating, you had always something to do, someone to talk with, and of course some time for sleeping as well, and sauna, of course, as we're in Finland. Activities from 2018 camp were, of course, operating. Then we had a presentation of our Oscar Juliet Zero Charlie. There were multiple, there have been for over 3 years, if I'm correct now, youth expeditions to Market Reef, islet in the middle of Baltic Sea. And we gave a presentation about that at the camp. And also we had a Lifetime with Hamradio talk by Oscar Hotel 5 November Quebec Peter, who is the owner and founder of the Oscar Hotel 5 Zulu station. In Finland, we have quite odd Independence Day celebration, which was also part of activities, and it was really nice to have Independence Day in a really different company than usually. As I've said many times before, friendships are always a good part of YOTA indeed, and how we do youth activities in Finland, and it really everything sums up well in the top left picture. I just like that there's Nico, Arttu, and Mikael posing in the tent. And from the youngsters, we go to old-timers, and you can see Peter in the bottom left picture again, telling about what he has done with Hamradio in his life. On the right, you can see the whole of SAC with 4 operators at the time in the OS5 Zulu. The SAC itself is really messy, but it functions well, and it's easy to work from the station, operate from the stations, as all is sorted out, and every station looks really the same. Then we have 1 year left. The third year, 2019, it was what first comes to my mind is that it was really same feeling camp than 2018's camp, but one of the maybe newest thing was that we have special guest Tommy, Hotel Alpha 8 Radio Tango, the YOTA coordinator, sorry, not YOTA coordinator, YOTA December month coordinator, as you heard before in this session. It probably was some kind of cultural shock for Tommy, as you get straight into Finnish Independence Day celebration and sauna, which was luckily familiar to Tommy from NOTA camp earlier 2019. Oh, there's Tommy.
Yeah.
How did you like the camp, if I can ask you?
Yeah, it was like the best camp last year. Yeah, it was indeed a cultural shock for me, coming from Central Europe and going to the Nordics for long weekend and seeing the culture and the Independence Day traditions and everything is a bit overwhelming, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
I can believe that. Thank you for answering. And of course, the joy of being together is always the best thing. Activities included operating as OS2 Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha, as usual. Also, we had remote station presentation. And yes, the Finnish regular things that we do, like being at sauna 3 hours a night, 3 hours a evening, which is really nice, actually. And then a few more pictures, a little bit of equipment side, and operating Tommy and Nico at Mustila Radio Shack. And actually, the top middle picture that you can see, There are the biggest stations photographed from far, far away the station. But if you look closely to the tower on the right, you can see that there is actually a Finnish flag put on to celebrate Independence Day on the tower. I haven't seen pictures from other countries putting flags in their towers, but that was what Nico wanted to do, and that was what we did, and it really was a nice thing to have a flag in our own flagpole. And of course, I had to include a picture of Tommy reading Finnish newspaper. That's where he really likes to be, even though he said that he didn't understand anything. Okay, next year or this year, will for Finland, however, be different, but we think that December YOTA month is an excellent way to active youth in your country. We, the organizers from Finland, highly suggest other countries to have their own December YOTA month events and camps as well. If you have anything to any questions regarding organizing the camps or activities, or about this presentation or the OS5 Sulu camps, don't hesitate to ask. You can contact the mail address that you can see here. It comes to Finnish Youth Team, and the Nuorisosana here means youth, so don't be confused with that. Unfortunately, for Finland, there won't be a camp this year, as we are unable to use the station, as Nico is at the moment serving in army, and he cannot be at the station this year. So we will pass this year with the OS5 Sulu camp, but maybe next year again. But still, OS2 Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha will be on air with multiple young operators, as every youngster in Finland have the opportunity to use the call sign over the month. And we will be really wanting to contact all of you on the bands. This was it for my side now. Thank you really much, and we're looking forward to hear you on the bands in December. Thank you, and next I will hand up the mic to Claudia, who will tell you, oh sorry, not Claudia yet. It's Lisa and Tommy about December YOTA month questions and answers.
Yeah, so we're going to have the question and answers, but first of all, we actually also provided a video about some impressions from the DYM from some participants. So let's first have a look at the video, and then we're going to answer the questions. You have it?
It's in the Telegram.
How can I? Okay, so we should see the video soon, hopefully. Okay, we can also just check if is the video working right now. If not, we can just start with the questions first, and then we can see if we can get the video running. Okay, so then we'll change it a little bit. So let's first look at the questions, and then we can watch the video. So yeah, I can shortly share my screen. But yeah, we're just going to look at some questions. And yeah, if you still have some, you can probably ask. Maybe we can still answer them after the video. But like one question we had is probably for Lisa, because there was someone who wanted to know how did the youth team actually came up with the with the idea of December YOTA month. So that was back in the days, I guess. But yeah, how did the youth team came to the idea?
Yes, indeed, that's an interesting question. That's already a while ago, actually. It was in the Youngsters on the Air camp in one of our summer camps in Estonia in 2013 already. It's already 7 years ago at this point. We came up with the idea to have to use call signs with Youngsters on the Air in suffix, also with the idea to have more youth on the air. And then we looked to what is a moment in the year where there are not so many contests or activities ongoing. And then we came with the idea to just use the entire month of December. December is usually a month with not so many contests, and also young people, they have Christmas holidays. And with using also a full month for this activity, all youngsters and teams are really free to choose their own moment when to be on the air. And that's a bit how December YOTA month started. So it was quite interesting to hear from Jentel that indeed in the beginning together with Tommy, Oscar, November 2 Tango Delta, and also Peter, Oscar November 1 Golf Papa, Shara was involved. And we did a lot of manual checking at the moment. So we had already in the first YOTA, December YOTA month, we had already awards, for example. But we had indeed to check all logs manually, make all the awards manually. And I'm very happy to see that it's a lot automated nowadays. So that's a bit about the history.
Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you, Lisa, for this information. And yeah, I have another question that might be something for Tommy, since it's regarding the DYM itself. And the question is, how will the DYM QSL cards, like the cards for the QSOs, be managed this year? Are there any news about that yet?
Yeah. So you might know that last year we had this problem with the QSLing on the euro. So for this year we are signing an agreement with the company who will pre-print and sticker all the cards, so we don't have so our QSL manager doesn't have so much work with it. So we are planning to restore the QSL cards via bureau, and of course the OQRS for requesting the card, so you don't have to send your own ones. And we are also keeping up the direct for the fast card exchanges for people who are willing to support our activities with it. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. And then it's related to that question a little bit. Is there also a possibility to get a QSL card as an SWL?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but not through the OQRS. So if you are an SWL and would like to get a card, you should write to the official email address of either to the award or to the December YOTA month contact address, email address, and we'll forward it to our QSL manager, and we'll deal with your QSL card request.
Okay, perfect. And then we also have the next question that might be something for, I don't know, Tommy or maybe Lisa. What will be the QSO goal for this year for December YOTA month?
Yes, so last year we made almost or more than 129,000 QSOs, as Tommy mentioned before. That's a lot. It would be great to see this year that we reach this, that we go over this target again, that we now reach maybe even 150,000 QSOs. That would be awesome. But I think the most important is not going about the number of QSOs. The most important is that we have youngsters on the air, so many young people on the air, but also that we show amateur radio to all the young people. So show amateur radio to your friends, to your family, to your neighbors. That's more important than the number of QSOs. But if we have to say one, I think 150K would be very nice.
Okay, yeah, cool. So let's see. We will know at the end of this year how many QSO we get. And then we also have another question. I think that's actually pretty interesting one. Maybe we can try to answer this maybe one day for, in general, all youngsters. But I think it's mainly related to Ottawa's talk. So the question is, can you maybe tell us on how many youngsters you have coming into the radio hobby by themselves, and how many youngsters probably came through some parents, etc. So the background from that question is, I think, mainly like how many people probably have a station already from their parents at home they can use, and maybe like also how many youngsters can have to build up their own station at home first.
Unfortunately, I cannot give any exact numbers or percents with such a short notice, but it would be nice to have some research actually with this, so I think I will write it down. But what I can say that we have both in Finland. We have both people that have some kind of relations. That doesn't, however, mean that the relation is their parents. It can be someone like school teacher maybe, or like I know people whose grandparents are or grandfather is Hamradio operator, but not their father is, and it like skips a generation there. And what we're doing in Finland, we're recruiting. We're trying to have people like through university clubs, and our university clubs are doing tough job with trying to find people in universities who are trying to could be interested in ham radio, and also other technology based schools, because they have people who tend to be interested in ham radio with at least have some kind of interest. Also, we have people who just see our marketing somewhere and find us about us. That has happened at least a few times, and usually those are the most like people who are willing to do the most because they have their own motivation, and it haven't came from their parents or other relations. Those are usually the people who really are going to change this hobby in the future. And also one thing that I have to mention here is that what I also meant is that my father is a ham radio operator, but Mustila is still, OS5 Zulu is still a lot by far bigger station than what we have home, and we have a tower at home. So it's still it still is quite an opportunity to go work on a really big station, because there are big stations and then there are huge stations. It's like it is a big step even if you have some sort of bigger station at home already. Hope this answered your question.
Yeah, I think that's great, and that's a nice answer. And yeah, probably we can also maybe try to see if we can answer that question also more in general about all the youngsters. And yeah, we got also another question that's probably again for Lisa or Tommy maybe. So are there digital modes used as well, and how are they scored in the DYM?
Yeah, of course, digital modes can also be used for making contacts in DYM, but we decided to score them as one. So just some more details about the scoring as you asked. So we are scoring the band slots. The contacts you make with the stations are sorted into band slots, which means per band and per mode. But since there are a zillion digital modes, we decided to score them as one. So essentially, you can make 3 QSOs with one station on each band in CW, SSB, and any digital mode you would like to use and the station uses. So yeah, it's included, it's scored, but it's 1 point maximum per band slot.
It seems like we lost Claudia from the call.
Yep. I just noticed. Okay, anyways. Yeah, there was another question. I'm gonna read it. Oh, Claudia, you're back. You can read the next question. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, some computer issues, but yeah, I'm back. So yeah, there was another question. So it was, is there any power limit for the youth for the DYM, like as in some contests, for example?
So for first, DYM is not a contest, and we wouldn't like to encourage people making contacts like contesting style. It's also a purpose to spread the word about youngsters. And of course, there is no special power limit defined by by youngsters on the air, because we operate in all the countries in the world, and there are different regulations in every country in the world. So, for example, in England they can use 400 watts, and in Hungary they can use 1.5 kilowatts. So we can use different power levels.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I think we're done with the questions we got here. So I hope we answered every question that came up. And yeah, I think maybe the video should be ready now. So let's have a look at that.
Hi guys, Papa Delta Zero Whiskey here and Florian, PB8DX. Welcome to the station Papa India 4 Charlie Oscar Mike, and we are at the headquarters of YOTA in the Netherlands, and we are standing on the 40-meter full-size two elements. Florian?
Yeah, this is a 2-element Moxon for 40 meters. And last year it was not up, but this year it will be ready for December YOTA month.
What is fun about the December YOTA month is because you can work every country you want, and everyone want to work you, because the pulp is easy to start.
And also it's very nice to bring youngsters to our station over here and let them meet our big antennas and some amplifiers as well, and make a lot of fun here, and yeah, meet new people as well. Try to get them in this side of the hobby on HF working.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Cheers for now.
Hi there, here is Gustav, Sierra Alpha 7 Golf Golf Oscar from South
Should
Sweden.
we go to the riddle solution now if
I
we're
recommend
still not getting the
people to
video?
join the
Or is it
December
happening?
YOTA month, because it's
Okay.
an opportunity to do so much more than just the ordinary amateur radio operating. It's an opportunity to do kit building, sit down in smaller groups, meet new friends, and meet friends a little closer than you do in a big camp. And I recommend you to join.
Hello, my name is Mason, KM4SII, and my favorite part about YOTA month was getting to operate as Kilowatt Yankee and get some big DX pileups from my home QTH, 7.3.
Hi, this is David, B7DZO. I absolutely loved December YOTA month. It was fantastic. I loved the idea of youth being able to promote youth in Hamradio, and kind of pave the path for others that are interested to get into it. It was fantastic.
So, hi everyone, it's Claudia, Delta Charlie 2 Charlie Lima, and I was thinking of some experiences I had during the December YOTA month. And I actually had some nice activities, for example, with some local youngsters here, or also with youngsters from other countries. But I think the most inspiring moment I had during this December YOTA month, when I was here and activated the YOTA call sign the first time alone from home, and I just used this my station here, so one transceiver and a balloon and a wire through the Guardian, and it was really nice to see that with this call sign you will reach so many people, because there are so many people who want to work this call sign, and it's still, with the simple setup, it's enough to reach many people and to get your signal out in the world. And that was really cool for me to realize that all this is also possible with, just some simple.
Yeah, so now we also had the questions, and the nice video. I hope you also enjoyed watching it. So let's have a look at the solution for Riddle 1. So we wanted to know the call sign from the sub-regional camp last year in winter, and that was Papa Alpha 6, Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha. And normally the youth coordinators have to register their call sign in November, so it's month number 11. and we're going to replace the 6 by 11, and we get to the solution call sign Papa Alpha 1 or Papa Alpha 11 Yankee Oscar Tango Alpha. And yeah, let's see if we have probably a nice winner. So here's someone helping me with the prize draw. And here it is. We have Heather, Papa Delta 3, Golf Victor, Quebec. And so congratulations to the Netherlands, I think. So you're going to get a nice YOTA t-shirt. So yeah, congratulations. And yeah, I would say let's also just have a short look again to the riddle 2. So you have time again until Sunday evening to answer that riddle. So we want to know how many countries took part in the first December YOTA month, and then the mode where most of the QSOs were made during last year's December YOTA month, and then in that frequency area of question number 1, and in the area or in the mode from question number 2, there's a QRP center of activity, and we want to know the QRG, so the frequency of this center of activities. So yeah, fill out riddle number 2 until Sunday night, and then hopefully you will be the winner of a nice YOTA hoodie. So good luck with that. And yeah, let's now hand over to Ottawa again. He will give us some information in the end now about some upcoming events.
Thank you, Claudia. As I promised at the start, next thing we will be announcing is the topic of YOTA Online session number 6. It will be held on Thursday, last Thursday of the month, 29th of October at 18 UTC, the regular time, regular date. And the main topic will be YOTA DIY, how to be QRV on CW. I highly suggest you to see this session because it's really different, maybe even some kind of interactive. If we come up with something, you should really see this. It will be a fun, really fun session this time. Also, Jamboree on the air, Flash Jamboree on the internet happening within Radio Scouts will be happening from 16th to 18th of October, meaning in just a few weeks. And then we will be seeing a lot of Radio Scout call signs active on the bands. So make sure to operate all those and have contact with them, as there are a lot of youngsters within the Scouts as well. And then the event that we have thought about this in this event, this session, the December YOTA month, will be during whole December. If you want to operate the special YOTA call sign, contact your national society. And if you need any help, you can always contact us via HamYOTA email that I will be showing shortly. Now, we will be at the end of session, but just don't go yet. We still have one big thing after this last slide. Please follow all our profiles on social media, and we really appreciate your feedback by direct messages on the social medias or via email to pierre@hamyota.com. But now, the next big thing, let's get into that. Yes.
Hello, my name is Mason, KM4SII, and my favorite part about YOTA month was getting to operate as Kilowatt Yankee and get some big DX pileups from my home QTH, 7.3.
Okay, we're just fighting some little technical issues, but we should be ready soon, hopefully, to see another another video. And as also Otava mentioned, we can just say again, just follow us on all our social media pages. We'll provide all information there about upcoming events, etc. And I think it's also a really nice way to probably find some other youngsters sharing the same interests. And also have a look at that and comment somewhere, and maybe also reply to some comments. I think that's also a really nice way to get in touch with other youngsters. So just check them out. And so hopefully we'll also soon can show you the video. So let's see if our technical problems are solved. Okay, so it's still there, but it should be solved soon. Yeah. And at that part, maybe we can also say thank you to our IT guys who are helping us all the time with with the streaming and making it work, making everything working, since every one of us is at another place, in another country. That's also not always that easy, but our IT guys manage that everything is working pretty well. Yeah, except for the problem we have right now, but let's see. And also, if you still have a question we didn't answer yet, or if you just came up with a question right now, you can still post them or send them to us, and then we can probably answer them in the next session, or maybe we can also directly reply to you if it's an important question or something like that. So if there is something, you can always contact us or ask us. Yeah, so let's just ask shortly again, how about the technical stuff? Okay, so we should be there now. So yeah, let's have a look.
So in the end, we have also an announcement to make. We have to say goodbye to our youth working group chair, Lisa Lenders, Papa Alpha 2 Lima Sierra. You saw her already during this session. She will step down as the youth working group chair in the upcoming IARU Region 1 General Conference in October. So we, the members of the youth working group, want to thank her for her awesome work, as well as the efforts she did over the past 10 years. She was elected back in 2011 already. So thanks again, Lisa, for all the stuff you achieved with the youth working group in the past years. And of course, we will have a new chair elected or named during the International Amateur Radio Union General Conference of Region 1, which will be held mid of October 2020, so in less than 2 weeks already. And yeah, in the end, I will hand over the microphone to Lisa. She also wants to say goodbye to everybody of you.
Yes, so thank you, Philip, for the kind words from you and the youth working group. It's a really great pleasure to hear this evening. Yes, indeed, like you mentioned, the time has come to hand over the role of the youth working group to the next generation. And to tell a bit more, it all started a bit more than 9 years ago, when the International Amateur Radio Union 1 posted a vacancy for a role as youth coordinator. Even at that point, there was no youth coordinator at all inside IARU worldwide. Even also no youth working group was existing. So I applied 9 years ago. After having several interviews, I was one of the lucky persons, or I was the lucky person to be selected to become almost 10 years ago the first youth coordinator inside the International Amateur Radio Union Region 1. Also around that time, in 2011, the first Youngsters on the Air camp was organized after an ID by Florin, Yankee Oscar 9, Charlie November uniform. So we are also very thankful that he did that, because this was also the start of Youngsters on the Air. In that camp, the first camp in Romania, I was team leader of the Dutch team of the Veron. And this was also the main start of getting many youngsters enthusiastic and together. Yeah, so keep in mind, 10 years ago, Youngsters on the Air was not existing. Next to all the activities which you have seen in all those YOTA online sessions, this all is developed the last years. Think about the sub-regional camps, the summer camps, December YOTA month, the youth contesting program, and many, many more. Together with the youth working group, which had several members over the last years, we made this all together happen. Also together with the youth coordinators, member societies, together with the executive committee of IARU and their presidents, we have built up the current youth program as how it's now. I think we can be all very proud on what we have achieved, and I really, really hope this will continue in future and will even expand. What I also would like to mention, now I have the stage, is that there is a reason why I started doing all these things and why I spend so much of my spare time on amateur radio youth activities. When I obtained my license, I was just 13 years old. There were almost no other young persons with the same amateur radio hobby. And I really believed as a young person already in that time that something had to change for the future. And that's really why I started to doing all this. And believe me, I had a lot of fun with doing all this to get more young people in amateur radio. I would like to thank everyone I have worked with over the past years. We did not only set up a youth program for IARU, we can be really proud on this, but also work together closely with many youth coordinators who have been building their youth program in their national societies. This is very great. And well done to everyone who achieved setting up these activities. Please continue, 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 and continue. I've met many people all over the world, gave presentations on fairs, also all over the world, club evenings, and on national societies. Thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity. I will not forget you, and this is very, very much appreciated. What I've learned over all these years, and this is important, listen to this, you would like to spend time together with the same hobby. Key is to start organizing youth activities for amateur radio. Keep it as simple as possible. It doesn't have to cost much. Organize camps, field days, or contests, etc. This is what the youth likes. So these are my last words for tonight. I will still continue as chair of the youth working group till the 16th of October. After that, I will give the role over to the next person. And I want to wish the current youth working group, many of them are here also this evening, a lot of success. But don't worry, I still will remain active on the bench and hope to make a QSO. And if you work me, please say hi. And I will also be still open for new challenges inside amateur radio. So 73s and hope to see you again. Bye bye.